Good morning. So I can say that maybe I'm just not used to having a routine. But I was out playing guitar last night with some people. Had a good time, got home. A little bit wired from doing all that and all the adrenaline because I really love doing that. Got to bed late. Woke up this morning, hit the snooze. So running like 5 minutes behind everything. But again, just having a routine that says I am just going to sit down and I'm going to do this. If I didn't have this thing that I had set up to where my own personal commitment, and I've tried doing commitments to like meditating and stuff like that. I guess it just takes something to, takes us something, some kind of an extra step to be able to follow through for any length of time. But I'm glad I've been doing this. Stopping, taking that breath, listening to the cards, letting my shoulders droop. It really has changed the way my mornings start. So let's see what the universe has for us today. Let's see if the universe wants to show us any insights. Part of this is to help deal with angers or resentments. The cards might show us, so maybe if during the day something would normally make us snap, make us react differently, make us get upset. Maybe if we actually talk about it and see it in the morning and walk through it, maybe we can surprise everybody and just react differently. Not get angry and not get upset. Maybe see where our anxieties are coming from. It's kind of the reason why I do this morning meditation reflection. So, let's see where we're at. So I've got my stack here. And I'm going to split it into 3 stacks. Each one of these, a thread going out to the universe. Whichever thread I pull, it's going to be the conversation we'll have. And it's just one of those insight things to which one, because if I pull this thread, it'll be a different conversation if I do this one or this one. And today is Wednesday. Let's see what's right on the surface. Let's see what's right here. So I'm going to do my 3 and 1. Most importantly, I'm going to take another sip of coffee. Oh, yeah. I think that's where my insight comes from. I don't drink, I don't smoke, but man, coffee. I'll take that as my one bad habit. Okay. Among many bad habits. Okay, so I'm going to flip them over one at a time, reading it like a book. And I do intuitive readings, so I just like to talk the cards through. And again, I think that I know where the story's going until I get to the last card, and it can just change everything. Let's see what insights we find. Oh, haven't seen this in a while. So this is the 4 of coins. This is about being conservative. It's about holding on to what you've got. Things are really stable, and sometimes, though, we can get stuck there. Sometimes it can also, this card can be seen, people say it's hoarding. I generally see it as just things being stable for right now, but sometimes when things are stable, it's hard to move forward. The Page of Pentacles. So maybe with that 4, the Page of Pentacles is about learning. It's about doing something with your money or with home or health. But I'm kind of concerned because it only adds up right now to 5 pentacles. And when you get to 5 pentacles, that's not a good thing. So sometimes if I see a 4 in a page, it'll be like things are stable. And then something comes along and can throw it out of whack. Maybe a bad decision, but let's see. The 6 of Pentacles. So this is one of those situations where maybe things have settled down or something like that, where maybe a routine is kicked in, and then maybe a decision is made, a choice, maybe not well informed. And the 6 of Coins is normally about you're halfway through something and you're able to give or ask for help or need to receive help. But in this situation here, with the 6 of Coins, it may be just kind of like hoarding what you've got and not giving, not taking. So let's see what the advice card is here. The Magician, which is about, people like to use the word manifesting with the Magician. So, but the Magician is about taking what you have and creating with it, taking something out of the air and making something new, taking your skills and doing something with it. But this is more about sitting here being all conservative and everything else. And if you notice this page, he's even just staring at this coin right here. So it's about being so locked in because we have 4, 5, 6. 4 coins, and the page is holding 1. And so it's about, this is almost about like, have you ever heard the story about where a frog sitting in a pot that is slowly boiling? So he's sitting inside this pot, and when a pot is slowly starts to boil, a frog doesn't realize it. And so it will slowly sit there and boil to death because it's just, the progression is so slow he doesn't even notice. So this is almost like a boiling pot situation where sitting there for whatever reason, closed up, holding on to what you got, not giving, not taking, not doing anything with it. And so let's think about if this is health or home or work. And then something gets introduced and it throws these scales off. And all of a sudden, we're in a situation. We can't go forward. We can't go back. We're not making, again, this is about manifesting and creating. So this is about being stagnant and waiting for that one thing to throw the scales off and not being prepared. The Magician has all the implements on his table and he's always prepared. So he's got a coin, he's got a cup, he's got a wand, he's got a sword. So are we that frog who's sitting in the water and then somebody turns a fire under it and it slowly starts to boil? And all it takes is just one thing to get introduced and it can throw it all out of whack. So this is about making sure that we prepare ourselves. that we're not just sitting here, that we are taking what we have. We're not just isolating ourselves alone and sitting on it, so that if something else gets introduced, that it tips that scale. And all of a sudden, we feel lost because we don't know how to handle it. We don't have the tools to handle it. So what is it right now that has us on that edge? Is there something health-wise? Maybe we haven't been to the dentist for a while, for example. Maybe our knees have just been starting to go and we don't go to the doctor. Because again, coins are about the health. And so here we are. We're just locked in. It's like, I'm fine. I'm okay. I don't need to worry about my cholesterol. And then here's this fifth coin getting introduced. It's just that one small thing. And then things get thrown out of whack. And this is what happens when we're not prepared. We don't have the tools to deal with it. So today, let's think about those things where we're putting them off, where we're closing ourselves up, where if something else gets introduced, or maybe there is a change, again, 4, 5. Fives are always about challenges. Fives are about having to deal with something. And again, the 6 right here is about charity and giving. But when you're isolating, you're not asking for help, you're not giving help. So maybe you're keeping some kind of a health issue to yourself and you're afraid of it. And the magician can also be seen as a doctor. Okay? Because again, this is somebody who has training, he has all the tools here. And this is with the Rider-Waite. It can mean something else if we're talking about another deck, like the Marseille deck. But when we read with the deck that we have, not other decks. And so in the Rider-Waite Smith deck, this could also be a doctor. This could be a learned person who has all the tools. But not in this situation. So today, what is it maybe health-wise we're ignoring? Financial-wise? What's that one thing that we're not taking care of? Things are fine right now, but then throw that one thing in and it can just tip these scales. See those scales he's got? What is it that we are unprepared for? And I'll give the example that I personally did not go to the dentist for several years until recently. So I just had this phase where I had a filling had fallen out of the back here and it was like a big sharp piece. And, I'm one of those people that have the fear of dentists. So I held off until I noticed a little spot on one of my front teeth. And because of my own ego, it's like, well, I can't have that. So I went to the dentist knowing that after like 4 years or so, man, I'm going to have nothing but a mouthful of cavities. Because I always have a cavity. Whenever I go to the dentist, it doesn't matter whether I wait 6 months or 6 years, cavities. 6 months, I have a cavity. I went there. And the dentist told me, no. He said, you've got 2 fillings that need to be taken care of because the filling in the back had fallen out. And the one in the front was a discolored filling. No cavities. But that was me sitting there for 4+ years, waiting for that filling to fall out. You know, it's like, hey, here you go. You know, it turned out that was a gift in itself, you know. That was a gift in itself. But it could have gone to where it's like maybe I had an abscess, maybe, or anything like that. Moving from the 4 again into that 5's territory. Throwing that balance out. But I was lucky with that. And I am watching my cholesterol today. So I do monitor that. But there are things that I know that personally it's like I just hunker down like I did with my teeth. You know? And without realizing it, the gift is that, you know, I thought it was a negative thing. The filling falls out and I get that sharp tooth. But it could have been something else gets introduced and thrown it out, and it could have been something bad. So this is about but this isn't about the past. This is about where I'm going next, or where we're going next. So let's take a look at maybe what it is that if something else gets introduced or something changes, are we not prepared for it? Are we just hunkered down and choosing not to see it? So, and good morning, Carla. So, wow, reading this, my shoulders got all tensed up. I stopped breathing because, man, like I said, I guess that whole thing with the dentist just really took me. But it's true. I waited, sat down on it saying I'm fine. Then I was given the gift of that filling. But it could have gone this way. So I need to look at the other things in my life that may not go that well and may actually tip. Whether it's bills, home, money, work, health, which is what the coins deal with. So take care of yourself. Look at the things that maybe we are just sitting there and we can last a long time just sitting like this. You know? Until something gets offered, thrown in there, something comes along to make it go from that stable 4 to a 5, then boom. So take a look at it today so we can avoid it tomorrow. And that's what I'm going to do. What am I not prepared for? What am I just hunkered down on and choosing not to do anything about? And so I hope that you have an amazing, amazing day. And it is Wednesday today. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. And I will be here tomorrow. And hello, Serenity of the Soul. You're catching us just as we are heading out. But I'll be back here again tomorrow at 7:15. So take care, everybody. Bye. you.